What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas. I'm on a walk with my dog, and I have not made a walking and talking vlog in so many years, but I really wanted to make one because there's something that I used to post so much on my channel. If you look back from when I was in high school and even late middle school maybe, I was a sneaker review YouTuber. And this was back in 2012 to about like 2015 was when I was hitting it hard. And God, I just remember how fun it was. You know, on sneaker YouTube back in the day, there wasn't any really huge channels. It was a lot of small time guys that had like max 10K subs. And we all had a pretty tight community. There was a guy, Indeed317, shout out to Nate in the Indianapolis area that was local to me. I remember finding out about him, Jason Donner, Yo Auntie, Mr. Fomer Simpson, Optimus. There's a ton of people. And these guys had various levels of subscriber counts. You know, it was just a really fun, you know, YouTube community because it was small. It was like before it had popped off, before people were making money from YouTube ad revenue. It was just guys who in their spare time bought sneakers and fucking reviewed them. It was sick. And yeah, I'm just making this video because I wanted to talk about that. And then my kind of story with sneakers, what happened and where I'm at now with the sneaker game, and walking my dog. So I thought this would be a great time for a vlog, you know. So essentially, the sneaker reviewing community started to grow and grow as it became more popular. You know, this was around the time where, you know, raffles and Nike Twitter was becoming the way to cop shoes. Bots started to be introduced. I remember the first release that I had, like, you know, the first release that got me into sneakers was the Concord 11s, actually, in 2012. And I remember that was when some people died, actually, and were trampled, and there was craziness. And I was like, holy shit, people were storming the stores. It was nuts. And that was what I was like, damn, so sneakers are like hype. There's like these releases that come out and there's limited quantities, and you know, supply is lower than the demand. So that's why these shoes are selling for $500 hours after they sell out. It's like, this is crazy. And I really started to research the sneaker game and all about the Jordans. And, you know, because I was too young to grow up watching Jordan, and I was never a big basketball fan. And so like learning the history of the shoes to me was just fascinating. So like while I was reviewing shoes, I was learning about them and like the stories behind them, the designers like Tinker Hatfield, the iconic people of the industry, you know, the story of Nike and Adidas and all this kind of stuff. And it was so cool because I was doing it surrounded by guys who, you know, were super knowledgeable and like had the capacity to buy tons of shoes. And I thought that was so fucking dope that they could like, oh, you guys can afford to buy every shoe you want. That's so cool. I'm just like 15 years old working as a fucking lifeguard. Like, you know, I could buy like maybe like 4 or 5 shoes a year was what I could afford. And that was all you needed, you know. And then I'd buy some stuff used. And man, back then you could get shoes that were used for cheap. Think about it like the used car market right now. Everything now, used cars were hella expensive. And you probably can still find shoe deals, but like you can with used cars, but it's harder, you know. I went and looked back at some shoes that I had sold in the past at the Tiffany Dunk Highs. Those are going for like $800 now. It's like, what the hell? Sneaker game's done changed. So I guess what kind of happened with me and sneakers is as time progressed, I just kind of, well, I went to college for one, and I had no job. So the money aspect of it was not really there. I had saved up some money. I remember selling my Air Max Lunar 1s. I'll put those on the screen right now. The Air Max 1s Lunar 90s, I believe they were called. The Moonwalkers were a hyper strike that I copped manually that released in 2 in-store locations. I got them from Nike.com. Craziest release I've ever done. Craziest luck I've ever had on any kind of release. Those shoes are like $1,000 right now. I sold them for $500 because I needed the money in college. And I regret doing it, but at the same time, you know, I needed to sell them. So that's where I was. And so after I stopped buying shoes, I kind of got more into Supreme and streetwear. And I was doing that for a while. I was buying Supreme. I was reselling some of it, but mostly just copying for myself. And then 2018 rolls around, I graduate college and, you know, got my first job. And I just kind of stopped, you know? It was kind of just one of those things where I wasn't getting the joy out of the hype anymore. And it just kind of, the luster just fell for me, you know? It just wasn't there anymore. So I just stopped. I got out of the game, you know? And then around like 2019, 2020, I started getting into cars, which is a way more expensive hobby. I got a Nissan 370Z, which I eventually crashed, which is a whole other story. Totaled my car. Now I have a Honda Civic Si, which I fucking love. Some people will think it's a downgrade, but I had an automatic 370Z because I didn't know how to drive manual, but I learned how to drive manual, and then once I had that happen, I just knew I needed to get a manual car. So got a Honda Civic Si, and I love it. It's sick. And right now, I'm getting back into sneakers. I bought 4 sneakers last week, which is, from an outside perspective, it might seem a little crazy, a little impulsive to do, but I am essentially right now getting back into sneakers for the reselling game. I know. Yeah, so essentially I'm getting back into shoes to make a little extra money. You know, I hate to say it, because I used to really despise resellers. And as I got older, as I'm getting older, 26, I understand more the resellers, the flippers, and why they do it, because it's tough out there. People that, you know, work a regular 9-to-5 job need extra money. I need extra money to do the things that I want to do. And like, as much of a passion that I have for sneakers, and however strong that is, like at the end of the day, like if I want to do my hobbies, if I want to be like a, you know, the best car enthusiast that I can be, if I want to mod my car a bit, you know, do some upgrades, pay for track days, do all the things that I do, buy new tires, like that money needs to come from somewhere. And while like, yeah, I have a good paying job, it's not always enough. So like the side hustle kind of came into my mind, and I was just debating on what I wanted to do. And for a while I was doing cryptocurrency trading. And after the market kind of tanked, I was like at a position where I'm like, well, this crypto stuff is great. It's good for the long haul investing. While I'm confident about crypto long term, it's like I can't really make a lot of money on it right now. It's pretty difficult to make money in crypto right now. So I was scrolling Twitter, as we do, and the Supreme Burberry release was announced. And I was like, holy shit, I fucking need it. Right? I'm a huge Supreme fan, a huge Burberry fan, and I really wanted to cop it. So I was like, all right, we're gonna cop this Supreme Burberry. How are we gonna do this? I need this. And I saw someone from an account I post retweet some other guy about this checkout group, this like cook group, you know? And it was like $60 to join, and I was like, fuck, all right, let's see what it's all about. I'll do the 1 month of this shit. $60 a month for this, by the way. And I joined the group and I start chatting with people in there, and I'm seeing the links they're posting, I'm seeing what they're doing, and I'm like, okay, cool. I could see where this would make me some money, you know? I could see how. I hit on 4 shoes. I hit on the Concepts Air Max 1 Heavies, the Adidas Yeezy 350 V2, I think they're the Oreos, the Yeezys. The Playoff 12s, which are pretty much a general release. They don't really resell for that much. And I hit on the Supreme Dunks, which was actually last week before I really even got into the group. I was able to flip the Supreme Dunks for like $250, like made like a nice $102 profit. I got my buy, sell, profit page, recording it. And yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. Where I envision myself going is kind of a split, you know? Mostly I'm gonna be reselling shoes. That's just where I'm at. That's what I'm gonna be doing. But I do envision myself with extra profits being able to have 1 or 2 extra shoes, you know, that I can keep for myself. I'll do a quick sneaker tour. Maybe that's a whole video I could do. But here's my collection. I love fucking shoes. This is a piece by JC.RO. 21 of 23 of these Chicago ones that I absolutely love. I got my Y3 Quazas, red ones, DMPs, my Frieza Adidas Young ones, and my prized Supreme Dunk, not Supreme Dunk, the Supreme 5s. And I actually just got these restored. I might even do a whole video just on these. These are the Air Jordan 3 Black Cements from 2001. They were sole separated for years, but this guy at a place in Greenwood, Indiana, got them nice and clean for me. A place called Hackey's in the mall. Restored them. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Sneaker game. It's a cool world, and there's still just tons and tons of people buying and selling and trading shoes like they always have been. And I'm not feeling like an outsider. I'm feeling like I fit right in. I still am knowledgeable about the game. I still remember how to buy shoes super fast. I remember how exciting it is to hit on a pair of shoes, you know? That feeling you get when you're able to buy them, it's euphoric, it's fun. And I think that as long as I keep my level head and am not trying to rip people off, like, what could go wrong? Make a little extra money. And it's been all for today. It's been Thomas. Peace and love.